Today on Alabama Unfiltered, we're covering a lot. We've got a news roundup for you, and we're going to start with my favorite news story. Tell them what's about to happen.
We're coming to radio. Seriously.
It's going to be crazy. You can find us 9 to 12 every day, but stick around and watch the podcast to find out details. Then we're going to talk about Ron DeSantis coming to Alabama. Hey, Ivey's trying to hide some emails. Our textbooks, English textbooks, the committeeman that is chairing that committee, kind of an interesting person.
Very interesting.
The CCP fled from Troy University. And then in our Unleashed segment, we've got some interesting news about Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter. You don't want to miss it.
We're literally debating that it's bad that people get to say what they think.
Can you imagine? I'm reading Psalm 144 and it says, He trains my hands for war.
We are on the brink of total destruction of America as we know it.
Let your rebel flag fly.
Welcome into this week's edition of Alabama Unfiltered. I am Scott Beeson. Amy Beth Shaver and Allison Sinclair are with me. And as soon as they finish fixing their hair or whatever they're doing, we will be ready to start. Are y'all good, ladies? It's all good?
Look.
Amy Beth got her hair did yesterday.
Y'all both did it?
Look.
I don't see any gray. Sorry. It was just something that popped into my head before y'all finished.
You are not going to see gray on this head, okay? Until I am good and ready for anybody to see a hint of gray.
Not older. Let's see. What do y'all consider? Because I say the girls. And I know
am in prime time.
You're still in your prime?
Prime time.
And she's in rare form today. So
who was
everybody
doing,
buckle up.
She's eating sugar or something before she got
all
here.
She's all Johnny Cash today.
If y'all
tell
feed
us about
me
your
sugar
hair
every day,
you'll be like this?
I'll be fine.
So what did you eat for lunch?
Coffee.
Explains it all.
That is awesome.
I have
that is great.
New,
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
I have a new espresso machine.
Yes, I
Her
bet.
name is Dinah. It's Dynamica.
Right?
So.
And she's awesome.
Man, I need one.
Do too.
You do. Brian just got one.
Can you bring some for us?
Gosh.
When we
It's
have to be up early in the morning?
Coffee. Like
I
I
bet it
can
is.
only be at a 2 on the beans because if I'm more than that, just my kids,
so this is 2.
My kids before have been like, Mom. I'm like, I'm sorry.
What is a 2 on the beans?
What is that
I've
There's
never heard
5 strength. You can dial up the strength.
Oh.
I'm
Really?
only allowed to have 2. Chris can have 3 because he's
Hold
tall.
on,
He's more
look at
okay
me.
with that.
Your mascara is flaking. You
Yeah.
can't
No, it's
have
not.
that.
It's popping off. It's
Okay,
like she's
sorry.
vibrating, and it's like it's like things falling off a work truck you're driving behind
We
on the
might
interstate.
be
Coffee grounds.
caffeinated on the
Yes.
show. Yeah, sorry. I had to make sure. Am I fine now?
Yeah. Oh, right in my
You're
eye.
so good. You're so good. It's a rare day.
Oh, that's awesome.
So-
I am interested in the whole, because I have a theory that women don't want to be called girls when they're young, and then they reach a certain age where you can call them girl again, and they're fine with that.
Yeah.
So I think you are there. But at what point do you start having to do the whole go to the beauty shop? Y'all don't call it that anymore. Get your hair done to cover up the gray. Is there a breaking point? Not that either one of y'all have any gray hair.
Varies.
Okay, just depends when you have
Actually,
it.
first
you don't have any.
No,
I
I
have
do.
some.
It's starting right here on both sides. If you
Really?
Mine
Like
started
there?
at the top.
Huh.
Listen, I think you're right. The theory is correct. When
There's
you're
a
young, you don't want to be called a girl.
Right, because you're
And
a woman.
Now,
And now you're like,
I am like when Emmy was little, she was 2.5 years old, and I called her a girl, and she slung her little play school purse over her shoulder, and she said, "I'm not a girl, I'm a woman."
right.
And then you get to be about 40, and you're like, "Yeah, I am a girl."
Yeah. I'm just one of the girls.
You know
I'm with
it.
the girls. I'm the girls. I'm with. I
Yeah.
look just like the high school girls. We're all girls.
Yeah, except for we're
the
old.
threshold, like you've crossed the line when the bagger at the grocery store calls you ma'am.
It hurts your feelings a
And
little
then that's it.
dagger to the
I mean,
chest.
that's
You're
your
just
defining
like,
moment.
Okay.
you take your bags. You're kind of going,
That's
okay,
it.
I'm going to leave now. Because it
when you know.
hurts so bad, and now everybody calls me ma'am. The only person I like is when I was holding my grandbaby, and they're like, "Is that your baby?" And I'm like, "You're lying."
Yeah, right. Oh, of course. it is.
Obviously,
Yes.
I'm
Right.
the grandmother, granny.
In her Johnny Cash t-shirt.
But y'all haven't been asked for do you want the senior discount on coffee or anything yet, have you?
Now I'm
I have
offended.
not.
I will
but-
walk out of that store.
I just think that's a bad move.
What if you just say, look, I need a cup of coffee, and they give it to you, and you look on the receipt and it's 50 cents? Are you going to be like, dadgummit, somebody's going to pay?
Out
You're going to be like,
free coffee.
We'll probably be together because they'll sponsor that on our show eventually.
Right.
They're going to want to.
Yes.
Because they need me caffeinated. And anywho, so if I see that on the I'll be like, peace out, guys. I got good coffee
I'm
at
good.
home.
Yeah, I'm going back
I don't
to
need
Dinah.
it. Dinah will do it for me.
Yeah.
So the news roundup is what we're doing, right?
We're doing the news roundup because so much has been going on. And if you don't really read your newsletter every morning, you're going to miss it. But it's crazy. And
The newsletter that we need to read is
the 1819 News newsletter that comes out every morning. You can subscribe on 1819news.com. And it's actually so easy. It comes at 5:30 every morning. All the top stories from around Alabama, and then some national news as well. But even my husband, like, he didn't read any of those national brands anymore.
Right.
He'll be
He
like,
just goes to the daily detail.
yeah. So it's really good. But there's a lot happening. Number one, we're going to talk about Alabama Unfiltered Radio.
Oh, yeah. Starting very, very soon.
It's
very soon.
So soon.
I'm ready.
Crazy.
I'm ready.
Did y'all ever anticipate we'd be here?
No.
No.
Yeah. So tell people about it. What is it?
Well, then we got to get to DeSantis because he's coming
Okay.
to town. Ivey's trying to get money for legal fees to protect her Fanny because I guess she doesn't want in discovery them to find some emails that she sent with this bridge builder.
Is this the bridge thing?
This is the bridge thing.
Mm-hmm.
The CCP moved out of Troy University. That's
Jackoms?
Super weird.
the Confucius
Really?
Institute, which is so strange that it was there in the first place. And then we're going to talk about the person that's in charge of picking our K through third grade Alabama English textbooks. He sits at the top of this committee, and he's also published a very interesting book, or what would you call it?
I would call it a paper.
A paper.
paper?
that
a
parents might
pamphlet, a
find
paper?
interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to cover
That's
a lot.
the one I'm looking forward to.
Then in the Unleashed segment, we're going to talk about how Alabama always gets caught up in the corruption. I don't even care if it's corruption in Ohio, because there's this federal lawsuit going on with one of the past speakers of the House in Ohio.
Right.
And they were questioning him. And of course, Nathaniel Ledbetter, who's now our Speaker of the House in Alabama, just started session this week. His name came up
In that?
in this.
Okay, so we're going to find out
Yeah,
about that
yes.
in
This
the
Unleashed
Unleashed
segment.
segment at
Yeah.
the very, very end.
We have a lot to cover, but I think
That
it's
is a
really
lot.
good stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That is
Sort of
good.
Good teases, eh?
She did really good. I
really
wasn't
good.
expecting it to go
She-
so well.
she
Because
did a-
to
she
start
did a
with,
great
she was
job.
ornery, and she's like, I don't even know. Do
Yeah,
you
I
have your
know.
list?
I know.
The person who sends out the list shouldn't have cost us for not having the list, and then she didn't have the list.
And my list disappeared.
Your
It just-
list, you deleted it sometime when you were going,
I may have.
and then your hands
But
hit the
look,
delete
I've got
button.
all the stories because I've
But
got
you're
them all
ready
lined up.
now?
I'm ready
Okay,
now.
good.
I'm fine.
Good. She could do the whole show in like 12 minutes.
I blame it all on. this
You
goes
really
back-
are revved up. If you are not drinking that in the morning, I'm going to be greatly disappointed.
I'm drinking it in the morning.
Bring some extra.
I will.
I think she
It's
didn't
good
eat lunch.
coffee.
She just, you
Yeah.
just don't eat breakfast. Just drink a bunch
so
of
it's not
coffee.
that- so you're. What do they call it? What are the
Dinah?
straight lining? What is it called?
Mainlining
Main
coffee.
lining. That's what we're doing.
We
or
just
she's doing.
all need Mama Shave to have coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Abs.
Meemaw shave, got to have her
Right.
coffee.
Granny needs
Granny.
it.
Granny shave.
Granny
Granny.
abs. Oh my goodness.
Granny
abs. That's. We might. I don't
That-
even know.
don't
if I,
say that
I
on
don't
the
even know if I
radio.
can go that far. Probably
So-
I can at one point.
Are you excited about the radio show?
I am. So
It
Alabama.
doesn't change your life much.
No, it doesn't. Alabama Unfiltered Radio starts tomorrow. I know that this may come out after, but it starts
Yeah.
on a Wednesday of this week. So some people, it will already be going by the time some people see this podcast. But the new change is we're taking my radio show in Birmingham, Scott Beeson Radio, transforming it to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with you two.
You hesitated
Some days.
when you said
two.
that.
Well, I was trying to see if I was going with Granny Abs and Big Al,
saw
but I punted and went
You know
with
what? That was the
you two.
smarter thing, because if you want us to
Big
show
Al.
up,
Here we go.
then
And we're going to be on air in the River region, Montgomery, all those counties, all the popular counties, where all the people are,
yeah, right.
and in Birmingham. So we're syndicated right off the bat, and that's going to be great. So
exciting.
I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for the state too, because the things that 1819 does is exactly the kind of things that I do on my radio program that y'all support and that y'all do with all your articles and all the work you do. And we just want people to know what's going on, because if people are informed and they know the truth, and we can at least discuss it, I think Alabamians make good decisions, and then hopefully we can change the state for the better. Are y'all excited?
Very, really excited, because I think that there's nothing like the three of us on the air right now. And I think we have an opportunity not only to get the word out about encouraging people to rise to the moment of truth and to stay informed on the issues, but also encourage our audience and listeners and people that I hope will become our friends to engage on the issues and know that they can.
Right.
Because that's really the point, isn't it? To inform them, but then also to engage so that they act. And so that's really where change will happen.
And be a different kind of show that's entertaining, and because news talk is bad to be, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end.
Yeah, no, we got to have fun.
But be entertaining, have fun, and informative all at the same time. And so.
And if you want to have fun, send me medium roast coffee.
Medium roast.
Not dark?
No.
You probably can't.
I can do dark roast.
But.
That's more in the summer.
Yeah, I got it.
Are you excited?
That's a joke?
Yeah, how about how dark I get in the summer? I'm laughing at myself.
I was like, I wonder why she drinks dark.
Okay, are you so excited?
I'm really excited. If you had told me that at any point in my life I was going to be on a radio show, I would have probably slapped you, punched you in the face, laughed. I don't know, because this is not on my radar.
Right.
It wasn't even on my radar really when we started, but somehow it seems like the most natural progression. I think what I love about us is that we don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a ton of fun.
Right.
We actually do really like each other. And there are times where we disagree. And I think that's really good. I think a lot of the discussions that we need to have are just hashing things out, things that are, we're not trying to shove a narrative down your throat. We're just trying to kind of talk through some of these things, whether it be school choice or tax cuts or whatever. And I think the three of us have a great time, and we do it in a way that, like somebody the other day was like, Allison, I mean, your all's podcast is so fun and it's so entertaining and informative. And they were like, I think even non-conservatives would enjoy it. And I'm like, that's the biggest compliment to me, because we just want to start a discussion. And so I think tomorrow, Wednesday, starts a great discussion. I know for sure I'll never be able to run for public office after this.
Well, that's it. That has been my goal for the entire time I've been on the radio, to guarantee that I can never run for office again.
But that's okay.
I have this theory. Somebody will say, well, Scott Beeson, did you say this? And my answer is going to be, probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at some time, whether I was being sarcastic or making fun of it or doing whatever, but I'm very, very excited about it. And I think what we do is we're just asking the same questions that most people are asking, that are even wondering about things. And I think that will draw a lot of listeners who appreciate, hey, I kind of wonder that too. And then we'll comment on it, of course.
And then the callers. I'm actually
I'm
really
so
looking forward to
excited
the
about
callers, because they're like my favorite part on radio shows, because they might be my least favorite part because they're so unpredictable. I mean, what if we get some?
What if every
I'm
time someone
so
calls, they're like, I
excited.
agree with Scott, just over and over.
You know
And,
what? Then we'll quit. That'll be too much to take. No, I'm with you. I'm excited for people to call in just to get their perspective and their opinion, and then to disagree and tell us why. That's going to be a blast, because we're not going to lose our mind. We're tied to Christ, not our opinion. And so if we're wrong, then
I'm okay with saying I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, but I think that's the difference. Is like you said,
I'm not planning on
beautifully.
it happening often.
Yeah, I mean, and then there are going to be times when we're like, it's going down.
That's right.
You
What's
know.
wrong with you?
But not normally.
In the old days, you had a hang up button, which was really cool.
Why don't we have a? Do we have a hang
No, we
up
don't,
button?
because the way we do it, it's all
Okay. Well,
it's all remote.
we may have to have like a secret signal, like
We
baseball
do
signals.
have, yes, there's secret
Okay.
signals.
All right. Good.
Can the producer hang up?
Oh yeah. He
okay.
has buttons.
Okay. All right.
We just don't have buttons.
Do we have like the clapping like sound effects? I need sound effects.
You can do it if you want.
No, I want
'Cause
to
I like-
use Allison. Haven't we?
Yeah,
always
you
wanted
can-
to use the
you-
sound
You want to
effects?
mash the buttons
Yeah.
and make things happen?
Yes.
Like crickets and stuff?
Well, like when we say something great or say something horrible or a great caller.
But can we do that to each other, though? Like when
Yes.
Allison
Oh, I
says
think we
something, I
can.
can be like,
Boo.
I knew you were
crowd,
gonna do that.
boo,
Yeah,
boo.
I think you can
Get her
buy
off the
like a little,
stage.
almost like a Simon, the Simon Says,
Yeah, I
whatever.
love
I
my
bet you
Simon
could
I bet
buy
there's one
one
for iPad.
I'm just
Oh,
telling
I
you,
bet
I
there's an app
want
for
some
that. There's
an
sound
app.
effects.
So you want sound effects.
Yep.
Let me work on that.
All
Tomorrow,
right,
let's
we'll
just
see
get
what
through
we
the
can
show.
do. Have a list.
All right.
And then we'll figure out Thursday and Friday.
So I realized
But when are they going to listen to it? Hold on. What stations?
93.1,
Right.
and that's what I know.
Right.
93.1
In Montgomery. That's the news
Montgomery,
station.
and
Montgomery.
you can go to newstalk931.com and you can listen live from anywhere.
Right.
So
Just like you
all
can
of
go
our
to.
We have
fans-
friends and family
Right.
out
Yeah.
of state.
And Birmingham, it's still 92.5 AM 1260. Or you can listen on scottbeesonradio.com and scottbeeson.com. Still those.
Okay.
And there's a replay in Birmingham every night from 7 to 10 that y'all will be on.
Is
Oh.
there a way to well,
Mhm.
I'll ask you this question off the air.
Okay. Later?
Yeah, it's something to loop in so I can link to that.
That coffee's getting her going.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's
So,
already
I'm
running
I'm
past.
sorry. I
She's
feel
already
like
running
I've
past
let
it all.
y'all down because I haven't always just had coffee for lunch.
Well, you
Well,
need to do
we
it
know.
next week
We're
too.
gonna do a
That'd be
little
great.
half
And I'll do
coffee.
it too.
You know what it is that it's finally, we waited, we were approached about it
Right.
a long time ago. And so we all collectively were like, whenever it's supposed to happen, if it is, it's going to happen. It's finally sinking in that it actually
Is going to
happening.
happen.
I thought she was talking about coffee. I was like, I
it's
don't
just
put
good.
that much thought
know what
into
I'm
my
saying?
coffee.
No, absolutely.
I know what
And
you're saying.
I'll actually, it will be real tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because still today, it's kind of like, something might happen. But I think we're good. We're all good. So why do we need money for Kay Ivey?
Well,
What does she need money for? Is that where we
Oh,
are
my
next?
word.
Or is
Listen,
DeSantis?
this,
Well, DeSantis is coming. Are you going to go listen to
DeSantis is coming to town.
Are you
Is
going?
that Santa? I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. Are you going?
Are
You're
you?
going.
You'll go.
I'm
yeah.
so going, and I am actually
So
to
you will
meet
be able to
with him.
report on it. Right.
Yes,
Okay,
but I
good.
don't know if I can report. I don't know what the rules are, but I'm actually going to the round table meeting with him. It's like
Mhm.
him and like 12 other people, myself being one of
Oh,
them.
really?
That's
So I've got to think of things to ask, but
Oh, you're
I
so
hope I don't make a
good.
fool of myself.
No.
And if I do,
I
whatever.
mean, you could say, like, why are the big corporate rhino types that have undermined the Republican Party, why are they supporting you? That'd be a great question.
When they introduce
That would get me
you,
escorted
it will
out.
be the founder of Local Alabama and radio host.
Oh, I plan on
Yes.
giving him our card.
Okay.
And
He's gonna
I'm going
come
to
on
tell
with
him
us.
that like he needs to reach the people of Alabama. Like
Right.
we need him on the
Absolutely.
podcast. He can come on our radio
and you,
show.
and you need to
Done.
say
He'll do
2
it.
major media networks.
He'll
Yes. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
I don't know what to expect, but it'll be awesome. And they sold out the venue. They had to move the venue because
Mm-hmm.
so many people wanted to come. And I think it's going to be a great event. I think
So is
it'll-
this the Republican Party event?
Yeah.
Is it the
Yeah.
winter meeting or which one are we to now?
Yeah, they had the meeting like 2 weekends ago, and this is the dinner. They had to separate. Usually they do them at the same
Okay,
time. So
right.
this is the winter dinner.
Okay. And where is it? And
It's at the Finley Center in Hoover.
Okay.
And it should be a great time. I'm real curious. I guess his new book just came out. And I don't think he's announcing his presidential run until May. So I don't think
Mhm.
that's coming. Although, wouldn't that be amazing if he announced
Oh my word.
here?
In Alabama.
Yeah. But it'd just be interesting. The whole thing is shaping up, and I'm curious your all's thoughts. Just this whole Trump DeSantis thing, and Trump came out, posted something anti
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis again last night. And then sometimes Trump will say, well, we actually have always had a really good relationship. We've always
Right.
worked
I
well.
supported him for governor. Right.
So how is this going to play out? Where do you think Alabamians fall on this? Are we Trump or are we DeSantis?
I think we're going to stay Trump.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think based on the straw polls, we'll stay Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only reason Chris and I have talked about it is we looking at the country. Do you want somebody who immediately knows exactly what to do
Mm-hmm.
or somebody who is going to be learning what to do, even though he's already been amazing in Florida, and I think he's fantastic.
Right. No,
Just
yes,
looking at
I
this
love the job
based
he's done.
on the straw
Yes.
polls that
Right.
people are saying they're going to vote for, and they're saying they're voting for Trump, and that seems to be a reason why people are suggesting.
And I don't know what DeSantis
He's
can
a
do to
plug
pull
and
those
play.
people away.
But I don't know. I mean, I think
Right.
there's so much time.
Yes.
People will be able to look and see, well, hey, no, he actually is ready. DeSantis is 100%
Right.
ready. Let's
Right.
go.
Right.
But that's just the things that I've been reading. That's the primary response.
I hear
from
a
people.
lot of people say, "Hey, I like DeSantis. I would love for him to be president someday." I hear a lot of that, and that makes me think they're still holding on. They want the country saved, and they know that's going to have to require someone who's willing to break up the swamp, drain the swamp, however you want to say it. And Trump is coming out with these things like his economic plan, and just the other day said, fine, we'll deport everybody if we have to. Now, where has the establishment Republican Party been on that issue for 20 years? Oh, there's no way we can. There's no way. There's no
It's
way.
so mean.
There's so many too. It's so many. There's no way. There's no way. And we deported like 5 million people in the 1950s, and then we couldn't figure out how to even talk about it. And Trump is out there saying, we'll use whatever resource we have, whatever resource is necessary. If the military has to be used, we're cleaning this up.
Then he does,
And that's going to be hard for DeSantis to get past that on the other side.
but don't just today I started reading. Then Trump does stupid stuff.
He
'Cause
does.
His
Yes.
speech at CPAC was amazing, but then he does stuff like he's now talking about freedom cities. Have you seen this?
No,
He
I've
talked
not seen
about,
freedom
We're
cities
going to
yet.
set up freedom cities. Well, basically, they're like globalist smart cities. Like it sounds just like globalist talk, and I'm like,
oh gosh, that's awful.
who?
Why
Who
does
are
he do
you?
those kinds of things? And
DeSantis- I don't know.
who's advising him too?
I don't know. Sometimes you just want to go
Right.
pull the phone back
Okay,
and be
so
like,
can I-
dude,
can I-
don't tweet.
Right. Can I
Don't say
crawfish a
that.
little bit?
Yeah.
The only way Trump doesn't win is if Trump blows himself up
And that's exactly
with his own base.
Yes.
Like he
I agree.
can't give up our Operation Warp Speed. He can't give up the mRNA vaccines when everyone who supports him is like, I'm not for that. That's bad. It's a terrible idea. But he just can't.
he can't say he was wrong.
And that might be his Achilles heel, or however you say it. I'm sure there's a classical literature
Here's
example.
the way I see it in
of this
Alabama.
Trump.
There's 10 to 15% that will vote for Trump no matter what he does.
You think it's that low?
I do. I
Okay.
think there's 10 to 15% that are Republicans that will never vote for Trump.
Right. That's the
And
establishment Republicans. And then
Then
maybe
you've
20.
got that. So if we're 60%, then you've got that 30, 40% in the squishy middle that are like me, that are like, I will vote for any fighter,
right.
which is Trump or DeSantis. It's just who can be the most effective.
Right.
And that's what we're
Right.
trying to figure
Yes.
out.
And
Because-
yes.
what is effective? Because if effective is get along with the Republican establishment, that's
Yeah.
not very
That's
effective.
not-
It
that
doesn't
define
do us
effective,
anything.
no.
Right. And I want the person who's going to clean out.
But you can't call people names and be stupid and
I know.
childish.
You got to make 100%
That's
sure.
not effective
right,
either.
Right.
And I think that there's got to be somewhere in the middle where he finally, I have heard from his son, saying in interviews that Trump does not apologize when it comes to the mRNA vaccine. He's very proud of that. Okay, fine. You still are going to have to figure out how to admit
get around that,
This
right.
wasn't exactly it was awful, actually.
Everything we did to get something out there quickly was successful, and the program was successful, but
We had no idea the technology was going to do this.
They did not tell us
Yeah.
what all the risks were.
Right.
I don't know why he hasn't done that already.
Yeah,
Why-
that's not hard.
Why is he so married to it?
No, you think we can get his email address or like?
Think we can get him on the show?
But
He'll
just
come
tell
on the
him-
show.
We're trying.
He should be on this show.
We've actually reached out to
Mr.
his-
President, would you please come on our show?
Right.
Thank you.
On the radio
person.
show first and then this one at
Yes,
the same time.
both.
Yes.
You know
Okay.
what? We need to take a break.
We do?
Yeah. We need to
Okay,
talk
well,
about our fabulous
Fire it
sponsor.
up, coffee girl.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll be right back.
What's up, guys? Brian Dawson, CEO of 1819 News here. I want to take a minute to tell you about my good friends over at Centurion Labs. Cold weather is here, and you know what that means. Colds, the flu, and coronaviruses are running rampant. Your immune system needs protection, and that's why I love what my friends over at Centurion Labs are doing. They're always looking for safe, effective, affordable ways to keep you healthy and at your best. Got a cough, sore throat, or a runny nose? you need to check out their Ninja Cough product. You heard me, Ninja Cough. It contains the strongest non-narcotic cough suppressant on the market with no sugar, alcohol, or dyes. So it's safe for everyone, even your kids. Looking to strengthen your immune health, prevent sickness, or fight off the flu, and of course, coronaviruses? Defender Immunity Boost is for you. It is an all-in-one immunity booster that combines vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, copper, and quercetin in just one pill to save you money and help defend your health. Having trouble sleeping? Defender PM is a nighttime immunity booster that will help you get rest and boost your immune health. Now is the time to defend your health, save money, and support a company that shares your Christian values and loves this country. Centurion has dedicated the last 15 years to research and develop safe, effective, and affordable products made in the USA that you can trust. For a limited time, listeners of this podcast can get 20% off their first bottle order when you visit centurionlabs.com/1819news and use the promo code 1819. That's centurionlabs.com/1819news with the promo code 1819. Check them out, guys.
Welcome back. We would like to thank our sponsors, Centurion Labs. Allison and I love them. We love their products. Ninja Cough fan, you're a supplement. Which one do you use the most?
Actually, none of the supplements. I've tried, and I need to reorder the Just Energy.
Oh, I need that.
It doesn't rival your
It's
coffee.
nothing compared to coffee setting on number 2.
I'm trying to come down from number 2 coffee beans.
Right.
But it has like 60 milligrams of caffeine, so it's just enough.
Right. Just
where you
to
don't
get
get like
started.
this. But I really want to try. I need to order the Defender.
I spaced out my coffee.
Well, you need to
Probably
space it a little more.
Probably shouldn't eat it for lunch.
Well, but it was delicious.
Does it have creamer and sugar and stuff in it too?
No sugar.
No sugar.
All the sugar you could ever want. So no sugar.
Okay.
Just
Came in and ate jelly beans instead.
Just
So I
cream, a
ate
little
jelly
cream.
beans to-
Right. To settle it down.
yeah. But see, my coffee maker does all the frothing stuff, and so I have like
Really?
yeah. Good stuff.
It's some fancy coffee.
Yeah, I hurt my
maker.
sinuses. Oh.
I do have a question
That was a
about that.
snort.
What
What?
do you do? What do you do if you have to sneeze on air?
That's a good question.
We're gonna sneeze.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm coming back to this because I'm a mom. Here's the deal. You want to join the fight. You want to help us all rise to the moment of truth. Join the fight. You will get merch. Go on our website, 1819news.com, and make sure to click on the join tab. There are different levels of membership. And when you do, you will get to be a part of our Unleashed segment. And that's a members only segment, content that is really kind of a little spicy.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
know?
little different.
It's a little
got
different.
feel.
And today we're going to be talking about corruption. So you want to join. You want to be a part of this.
Absolutely. Be a part.
Yeah.
Peer
So
pressure.
there are 2 things we need to talk about. Allison, can you tell us about Kay Ivey, the emails, and the bridge?
Well, it's not a really in-depth story. It's actually pretty simple, but they're asking for some emails. There was, I guess, in discovery in this lawsuit, Kay Ivey and her,
Transportation director.
transportation director are being sued by Baldwin County Bridge Company because Kay Ivey and her bridge director want to build another bridge, like parallel, basically. To
Is this the toll bridge?
Yes. And
That
so
just,
they're
they
saying
just won't die and won't go away.
it won't go away. And it's weird that it won't go away. And so they're asking in discovery to see these emails from Kay Ivey between her and her bridge developer, her bridge director.
So these are okay. So these are emails between her and her cabinet member, who's the transportation director.
Yes. Text emails sent from state officials concerning plans to build a new bridge. She wants to conceal these texts and emails from discovery. She says basically she's covered under a special
The executive
privileged
privilege
information
stuff. Right,
and
right, right.
litigation, blah, blah,
So where
blah.
are y'all on that? Because on this, I'm probably taking a position that is different than just a regular normal citizen would knee jerk react to and say, I deserve to see that. I deserve to see that. They work for me. I deserve to see that. But if Allison was governor and you were the Secretary of State or Transportation Secretary, and maybe I was Transportation Secretary, and we're in a meeting and she says, I can't believe this. Joe over there is an idiot. He doesn't know how to find his way, out of a parking lot at night. That's our conversation, and we work for her. Why the world doesn't really need to know all those things. And I see executive privilege in that arena. And it's exactly like the president. When the president has a conversation with Jeff Sessions, and Jeff Sessions says, I will never reveal those. I'm not going to go out and write a book and try to make $1 million and say what, Trump said to me in private, even though we know people who have done that.
Right.
I think that's a private conversation. I don't believe that every conversation between elected officials, and especially the people who work for them, are public. And I may be the only person that thinks that, but maybe I think that because I remember when I was in office, I might be talking to another senator and I might say, this senator is a moron. I don't think everybody needs to know that.
But I think...
And I knew it was going to be a little different take because I know
but don't you think,
folks are like, I need to know everything. And like when they went to the bathroom and when they...
No, nobody needs to know that. I just think, but you do, surely they can use common sense. I think they're looking for maybe corruption or some sort of deal.
But they may not.
Well, I guess it does depend. And it goes back to what happened to Eagle Forum when they were asking for the DOJ was asking for all of their emails and things. So yes, on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, surely they're smart enough they could redact the stupid things like so-and-so's an idiot.
But if they redact those, won't they just say, those are the things I needed to know?
Well, it doesn't matter what we know. It matters. I'm sure people could.
Who knows? The court knows? The plaintiffs know?
Because they're going to have to make decisions. I think they think something's there. And so in my brain, I'm like, well.
Or they hope something's
I don't
there
really
and they
care
want to
if you
see
call
everything.
somebody an idiot. But if you're actually participating in like giving out contracts to people because you're getting some sort of kickback, then we want to know that. The other thing is that
I want to compromise a little bit with, I do think that the conversation from the elected official to a private company or to a contractor or to a consultant, that may be okay for that to be public because you're speaking to a citizen. But what I'm talking about, the conversation between her and the transportation director, who I'm not a fan of, but I think executive branch conversations among themselves should be confidential.
But what if they're saying, hey, we're going to get $1 million if you award this, then you still think it should be confidential? Yeah.
Unless somebody's wearing a wire or something, because you don't know. And the problem I see is that everybody wants everything. And in all these lawsuits, they want to know, they want to comb through everything possible so they can say, maybe they just have to use it to, smear somebody in some way. I just think you ought to be able to have a conversation. If we're talking about Alabama Unfiltered, I don't think the whole world, and I know we're not elected, I'm just saying, I think there should still be private conversations, even for elected officials. And I know people's, like I said, their knee-jerk reaction is automatically, no, I deserve to know. People didn't really deserve to know everything I said in my Senate office to another senator or whatever. Maybe it's because I say stupid stuff. I don't know.
I think it would all be a lot easier to take if we were dealing with people we thought were honest from the jump.
Yeah.
And so I think when something like this comes out, we're like, well, there's more of the same.
Right. Well, and this is so weird that it makes you think there's got to be something, because this can't be they just want a bridge.
Well, and you're dealing with taxpayer money. It's not just a he said, she said conversation. This is taxpayer funding that they're using to build this bridge that there's one right next to it. So why are we building this bridge? Yeah. And then she doesn't have enough bandwidth within her retained legal counsel. So now they need $50,000 to hire outside counsel to handle concealing her emails. And it's like, and that's taxpayer funded too. Right. So it's kind of like,
well, that just seems weird too. Yeah.
It's just weird.
That is weird. And the weirdness of it is what makes you go, there's got to be something that you're doing. But I don't know. It's one of those times where part of me says, oh yeah, I need to know. And the other part says, that's not reality. I
think that's fair. Yeah. Lord, I don't want my conversations.
Oh my word.
Oh, I agree. We agree.
Please don't put them out there.
Oh my goodness. And Scott, do you know, moving on to like the literacy. Okay, we're tying in the literacy act, but the State Board of Education is voting on K-3 language arts. They're voting on them this week. I know this will drop later, but this is the week they're voting on it. And it's secretive, but what's concerning a lot of people is that there is a person who is the chairperson for the textbook committee. And Allison, would you like to tell Scott what the paper he wrote?
Well, first I want to know why is it being kept secret? The
textbooks?
Just the whole curriculum.
It's weird, isn't it?
Why can we not look at
Well,
what the
you
curriculum
can.
is?
And actually, we had there's a group of people from around the state that have been looking at this curriculum at UAB. You have to go to UAB, to the library.
Right, because we don't have any of these things.
You have to go to UAB, to the library, and you cannot leave with any pictures. You cannot leave with any books, and you have to sit down and you have to go through. So people literally were going up there from 10 to 4 every day, going through these textbooks recommendations and writing them down. And they submitted all their worries and concerns to this committee and to the board. This is I'm sure it's been done before, but since all the craziness, really since COVID, when parents were on high alert, I don't know if anybody's done that. And they make it so difficult to follow along. And in fact, the list of potential textbooks are even kept secret. And I was listening to Joey Clark and Brian on the radio the other day, and they were talking about this, and they were wondering why they were still concealed. Like, why would you not allow? And this man called in, and he, a black man from Alabama that was in school during segregation, and he was like, they decided, and I don't know if it's true, I haven't, but it makes sense back then to keep the books private because all the black kids had different books than the white kids.
Okay.
And so, they had arithmetic and they had just basic math or something. I don't know what it was. But I was like, that's so interesting. So there's something in there that says that they're going to keep it quiet. I don't know why.
Right.
But you can look. But here's the deal. There's this guy named Kevin Balius, Balius. He's the chairperson for the textbook committee, which is appointed by the governor.
So the governor put this person
The
in that
governor,
spot.
who also sits as the head of the State Board of Education, puts Kevin Balius as
Okay, so I want the emails from her to whoever.
No. See, now you're on our side.
When she decided that this guy, because I'm just feeling, there's an ominous feeling that this is not going well.
He has written a paper titled Increasing LGBTQ plus Competencies in Pre-Service Teacher Training Programs. He also serves as the academic supervisor at the Mobile County Public School System and an educator at the University of South Alabama. That is who she appointed for our kindergarten through third grade English textbook committee
the guy
chair.
to choose it.
Yes.
The guy.
But
that
nobody
sits at the
probably
chair.
volunteered.
Yes, you have to fill out a
You
form.
got to try to get on
be
this because
appointed.
she didn't call me to do it and she didn't call y'all to do it. So you have to try this. So this person is like, I want to be on that.
You go to the
And I
governor's
wanna
office
help
website.
Choose the books that little kids use.
Yes. Meanwhile, we passed last year that you can't talk about gender identity or any of that stuff in K through fifth grade.
Right.
Okay, so Alabama passed that, but this is who is choosing our textbook ultimately. And I'm like, okay, he's entitled to whatever life he wants to live. And just because you are gay, LGBT, whatever
and he
you
may not
are,
be. He just has a paper.
Right.
But I'm bet, I'm just
well,
saying.
I mean, his Twitter, I went to Twitter and
Oh, did you?
you see all, yeah.
What do we say?
So, I mean, it's just,
Lots
what
of,
you would expect.
Lots of
Yeah,
flags.
yeah.
I mean,
and-
it's not inappropriate. It's
Okay,
just
it's
very
just-
much that.
So he's
He's all in.
strongly supportive
Yes,
of that
right.
agenda.
Yes,
Okay.
he has he himself is gay, and he
Okay.
has,
Right.
and he talks
Which you
about
can do,
it.
like you said, you can do whatever, whatever.
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
that's your thing. But he's an activist.
He's an activist, and he pretty much you can see it on his Twitter. And then I'm like, well, okay, what if I wrote a paper about how to evangelize most effectively for Jesus Christ in the
Right.
classroom?
I would appoint you for that reason if I was in
Well,
charge.
They wouldn't.
Well, apparently not.
No,
But right.
they would
okay.
not. And I'm not so sure that you should appoint me. I mean, you should, but
There's two worldviews, okay?
well, there.
Their worldview gets a pass. It's great. It's okay. Maybe, your worldview,
No pass.
even you said, maybe I shouldn't appoint you.
I just don't think that the classroom is the place to you love kids and you teach them. You can't evangelize in a public school.
Right.
You just can't. You can't stand behind the desk and preach Jesus and that you're going to hell. You just can't.
Right. Okay.
I mean, in Scott Beeson's world,
maybe we
could.
used to, but okay. Back when America was great.
You can't. You also can't
we
stand back there.
We stopped that.
We stopped that.
Yes,
and so
we did.
if you're going to go within the bounds of the law, I mean, either you have laws or you don't.
Right.
And I'm not saying, but you also,
But you can do this.
Well, no, but you can't. But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's again, I just want the rules to be fair.
You just want the rules to be the same.
I just want the rules to be same. If I can't tell kids about Jesus from behind the desk, then you can't hang your transgender flag behind the desk. And you can't tell kids that you might be a cat or that you might be a girl if you're a boy. Like, let's just keep the playing field the same.
Right. So conservatives or people on the right are just asking for a level playing field.
Right.
I think that's all you can ask for in public school.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't designed to be the church. Ever.
And yet, we are covering that this is who this person is, chairman for the, and I'm saying chairman for the textbook committee.
Right.
That should be outrageous to all parents. I don't care where you're
When
coming
was he
from.
appointed? When did
I
they
don't know,
appoint him?
but we know that's where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
We stink at education. Pick somebody who is phenomenal
Right.
in reading. Like, just focus on that.
Right.
Stop with all
What
this.
does it take for us to read? There's plenty of things to
that's
read that don't
embarrassing.
have that. I heard someone ask, they were talking about all of this stuff and all of the books that they're finding in the libraries and all this kind of stuff. And they noted, they said, isn't it weird? Doesn't anybody think it's weird that all of these pornographic, sexualized materials, all the stuff none of it is heterosexual. It's all LGBTQ material. And I was like, I've never even thought of that. So
If it were heterosexual, it'd be out of it. You wouldn't be able to do it.
You wouldn't be able to do it. And then I heard one of the other hosts say, if he had taken his little kids to a strip club, they would take your children away.
DHR.
But all these white moms are taking their kids to see grown men wearing thongs and doing all kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, this is awesome. It's fantastic. And it's just weird.
It's very weird.
What, how
Playing
the guidelines.
field.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. And maybe if you do want to sit at the head of the committee, don't write the paper. And don't do those things so publicly. I don't know.
I don't know how they missed this though.
I don't think they did.
I think this is
are
on
you
purpose.
crazy?
I was saying Mama might have missed it. And y'all
Meemaw did not miss
this. She did it on purpose.
Feels like it.
That's even worse.
And
It
Meemaw
feels like
probably
it.
didn't have anything to do with it. It's probably her
She didn't even
staff
know.
that
She
was
was
like,
school board. What is that?
yeah, he knows somebody in her office or in the appointing committee, whatever, and he got in, and poor Meemaw doesn't even know.
So it's a good example that the forces on the left are always working, and we miss it because we could have had somebody who sees the world the way we do on that committee. Could have chaired that committee.
Yeah.
The question is, did they turn down someone with a conservative worldview to put him there?
You could probably find out. You have to fill out a form on the governor's website, asking to be appointed. You want to nominate yourself or somebody. Right. There's probably a list of people.
Well, so
what if he was the only one that applied?
May have been. So we'll see what the final result is, right? I'm still freaked out by the whole secrecy thing. That we can't know, that nobody can know. It's all secret, and you got to go down.
I mean, here again,
sign in blood.
We're doing the same. I mean, repeat offender over and over and over again. We're not transparent. And then when something
can we just copy one from the 1950s?
Could we not? And when things are found out, whether it's this person who's written this paper or it's whatever else we've talked about, when we bring it up, it's like, oh, y'all hate people. Y'all are against this people and that. No. We just want the truth. We want the truth of your emails. We want the truth of these textbooks. And you're a whole lot easier to take if you're transparent from the jump.
Right.
And nobody is. And that is the problem.
I agree.
Amy Beth, what's going on in Troy?
Well, everyone, have y'all been to Troy? Have you seen
I've
the
actually
garden
never.
that they have? So one of our children had considered going to school there. And when we were taking a tour, we went through this garden, and I didn't think anything about it at the time. This has been years ago, but they took us through this statuary garden that was Chinese, and it had just been installed, and they were excited about art. And I was like, oh, huh. Fun fact about Troy, Chris's great-great-grandfather was the president. And so
Really?
there are two buildings that are Cowart, and that is
His
their family
grandfather.
name. Yep.
That's pretty good.
So, so I feel, even though I know nothing about it, walking around with this child and looking at it, I'm like, this makes me feel so proud that they did great things. But then you get to this Confucius Institute, and it's basically a Chinese language institute. But it has some suspicious relationships. Why was it there at all? It's in several states. There's 2 Confucius Institutes in Alabama. One,
Yeah, there's only like 14 across the nation or
There's
something.
2
and
in
there's
Alabama.
2 in Alabama.
So it's very suspicious. I'm glad that it happened, but like what?
The other one closed.
No, we're glad that they got rid of it.
They were glad that they got rid of it, but why
Right.
was it here in the first place?
Right.
I understand that they are saying that the Confucius Institute headquarters together with partners and colleagues from around the globe. They've incubated a world-renowned language education brand. That's what they say they are. The Confucius Institutes, and laid the groundwork for non-governmental ways of operating university programs with university partners from around the world. So that's what they say.
I don't even know what that said, though.
But-
Did it say anything? Was there any substance to that?
No substance, but their partnerships, they were Hanban, that's who funded the Confucius Institutes.
Okay. So
were
money
part
came
of
from China
the
to
Chinese Ministry of Education.
There you go. So our colleges and universities are just taking Chinese money.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Okay.
And
For some reason, because the Chinese money is just to help our colleges.
Yes,
right.
of
No-
course. Sure.
No purpose behind it other than
no.
goodness and
You're bad if you think it is.
global love and all that kind of stuff.
Right. No, exactly.
I do feel ashamed for even thinking anything
So-
bad. So who was the other?
Alabama A&M.
Okay.
And the only reason they shut both of them down is because the Department of Defense said, as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, that if you had a Confucius Institute, you couldn't receive any of their funding. So
they had to think money from here,
Chinese
free money from
funding.
here, free money from there.
yes.
Oh, we'll dump the Chinese.
Well-
the Chinese should have upped the bid, and we would have dumped the Fed money and kept the Chinese money.
Probably
Wouldn't
would
we?
have.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
they've left Troy, which is
What about
Good
what
thing.
about the other one?
it closed like in 2020.
Okay, so they were ahead. Troy held on.
Yeah.
But Troy does like to do this whole, we're very international. We
Yeah.
have campuses everywhere. Like
Well,
the
they-
sun never sets on the British Empire or Troy University kind of thing.
Yeah, well, they did pioneer online learning, and they did that very well.
They did.
They did.
They
Yeah.
did. They were ahead of that years before anybody else was into online learning. They were doing that. But this is very suspicious considering all that's going on with China, that it took not getting money from our government to make them go, oh, I mean, really?
Right. Well, I mean, look, they're doing the Confucius Institute. They're doing the Joe Biden Vice Presidential Leadership Library at whatever it was at Penn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all good. It's all for the
Great.
good of America.
Yeah.
Y'all are probably a bunch of Trump DeSantis supporters. So, yeah, threw
I don't know what I
DeSantis in
am
there.
anymore. Confused.
I think
I'll let you know after
I'm part of
Thursday
the
night.
Confusedus Institute.
I just want somebody to do what they say and get it done. And we're in a world of hurt right now. So whoever can do that the fastest, I'm for
That's who
them.
you're for.
I'm for that.
I mean,
person.
I wouldn't cry with either one to kind of go back to where we're at the start, whether it's Trump or DeSantis. I just think Trump is probably more likely to come in with.
You think he's going to come in hot?
Yes, that's the nice way to say it. Yeah, I think he's going to come in hot. Don't you think?
I think so.
I was
And
going with guns blazing.
I'm thinking of Moms on Two Wheels just coming in.
Get out.
Allison coming
Get
in.
out of the car. Yeah, coming into the
podcast.
show.
But isn't it interesting that we have 2 fantastic candidates already? I mean, I know he hasn't announced yet DeSantis, but I think it's great that we have to
Right.
Are you including Nikki Haley?
and Nikki Haley.
didn't she
that a lot of my
lose-
friends are excited about?
I don't
Um,
get
Your friends
that.
are-
I
your
do
friends are
not
excited
get
about Nikki
that.
Haley?
I've got some
She
friends
came
that are
in
excited.
third. Came in fourth at the
I
CPAC
think she's a
thing.
great person, but I am interested in Trump and
She's
DeSantis.
sneaky.
Oh, and
I
then we
think
have
she's
the
a
super
sneaky
cool
person.
guy that everybody really likes. The
I
Roman
love him.
Zal.
Who was that?
No, I
What's
thought you were going
his
to talk
name?
about
He's not the
Ram-
businessman that
Vivek
came in.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
Swami.
I think he's great.
He
Yes.
says some good stuff.
I mean, he needs to be in a
Is he
cabinet
a-
position related to economics when that happens. But what I don't want to happen is, have we learned our lesson that Orange Man bad, Dementia Man good? Look where we are. Just when you're in the voting booth,
Dementia Man good. Right. I mean, yes.
please. And I think it's a cruel thing that they've done to him. And I cannot even imagine that I would be married to somebody who would think that's okay. But just think about that last time, because that controlled the narrative all through the election season. Orange Man bad, but he's so good.
Uncle Joe just going to bring us together.
No.
He is
We're
bringing
more
us together.
divided than we've ever
We all
been.
agree that
And we can agree on that.
we're a
Not
heck of a
good at all.
handbasket.
Yeah.
We agree on that.
Yeah.
That's what we got?
That's what we got.
Fantastic. And
We're
then
gonna
we've
talk
got,
about
but we
Ledbetter.
have,
But in
Oh,
the
we're gonna do that
Unleashed.
now, too?
No.
We're talking about Unleashed.
we're doing that
Yeah.
in the Unleashed section.
Yeah.
So this has been Alabama Unfiltered, the main part. Don't forget to stand by with us and sign up. Join the fight so you can see Alabama Unfiltered Unleashed. But don't forget to tell people about this program. You can download us at all the places you download your podcast. Give us a thumbs up or a 5 stars. And like I said, please tell people about it. That's how we grow. And that's why we're seeing the success we're having. It's because of you. See y'all.